My name's Ashley Neal, work at SpeedCast. We're a satellite services company. I think the biggest in the world now. So we provide a range of managed satellite services, satellite infrastructure services to pretty much anyone that's into remote communications around the world. Head office in Australia, listed on the Australian Stock Exchange in the ANZ 200. We're definitely a good news story for an Australian company. We had some challenges like any growing organisation to have some consistency across our forecasting, consistency across the way we were qualifying opportunities for individual salespeople. But the catalyst really to engage with Miller Heiman was the acquisition of a company called Harris Caprock. And we merged two of the big powerhouses in the satellite industry together. And there was two company cultures, two organisations, two sets of customer bases that we needed to merge. And we really wanted to bring up get a consistent experience for our customers and for all the people that work for us. So at this year's sales kickoff, we started the Miller Heiman process. So being the consistent forecasting, and also we wanted our sales guys to give a consistent customer experience to the people that they dealt with. So after the discussions with Michael and even a few of the other people at Miller Heiman, we started out with conceptual selling. So and we wanted to run that at a sales kickoff. So we have a sales kickoff every year. We get all the salespeople around the world from every office together, and we do some team building events, and we make sure that everyone knows all the information they need to know to deliver good services to our customers. And so we decided for the first time to take out some of those days in the sales kickoff and dedicate that to some training for all the salespeople. So we did conceptual selling then, and we also did some online learning, which was kind of a new experience for us. Yeah, so I think everybody had a different expectation of training, because people had had good and bad experiences with sales training in the past. And so the thing that really worked was the online element of it. We were trying to train up 70 to 100 salespeople, I can't remember the exact numbers, in a really short period of time, and get them to a base level of understanding of the Miller Heiman concepts, ready for the sales kickoff. And so we used the online learning and development system, and it was really interesting because I don't think everyone expected that to be a boring event and kind of required homework that they didn't really want to do, but it ended up being quite competitive. So everyone got to the actual sales kickoff fully prepared, and I thought that was considering it was the first time that some of these people had met each other, to have gone through a shared experience, that was really valuable. I think the other thing that we found is I don't think we expected the impact it would have on some of the salespeople. So yes, some salespeople, it didn't affect them at all. There's always going to be a spectrum of people who take up the training and who don't, and who live by it. But the people that really took it on board made a real difference to their profession and to their career. You know, they're hitting their target more often now. But importantly, the relationship they have with their colleagues and their managers, I think that's improved. There's a lot more confidence in their ability. It's easy to share what they're doing as a professional, so that leaders like myself and other people in the business, and especially the non-salespeople, so the executive team, when they're talking to these salespeople about deals, there's a set of consistent terms, there's some consistent language. It gives a lot of confidence back to the executive team that we've got some true professionals out in front of our customers. It hasn't been a full year, right? So one of the ways to tell will be once we release our full year numbers, and you'll see how close we were to target. Because the most important thing for us is, being a listed company, is we need to be able to achieve our forecast, and have some confidence around that. And I don't even know the numbers yet, because as a global company, but I think that we will get pretty close, and the most important thing is people feel confident about that. So rather than being worried about hitting it for no reason and not knowing what to do about it, now we've got a set of tools that can say, if we haven't been successful or a particular deal is drifting away, that we know how to take control of that deal again, And we know that we're spending kind of the amount of time on the right deals that are going to bring in revenue for us, as opposed to deals that aren't straight away. That's been handy, and we've been able to announce some pretty big wins over the course of this year with Australian government, in particular. That's just new for the salespeople that have been involved in those, which I thought was that's really valuable. It's generally been very good, right? So we tend to have a lot of really experienced salespeople that work with us, people who've been in the telco and satellite communications game for a long time. So there was a risk that they wouldn't really take it on board, but generally the consensus was really good. That for even the old timers, for even people who have been selling in this game for a long time, they felt they were able to take some bits of information to change their behaviour that affected the way they dealt with their customers. And I think one of the most consistent bits of feedback is people weren't stressed as much. So they felt like they had an approach towards a sale which gave them a set of tools where they knew what to do next. So there was never a time when they're in the middle of an opportunity where they felt, I'm lost. I don't know what to do next. And if they did feel a bit like that, they had some language and a tool set to go and speak to their colleagues about how we can brainstorm some creative ways to help our customers, and that's been really effective. Yeah, we can all feel that. I can feel that. Everyone in the team can feel that. We're doing a lot of work with our products and marketing team to make sure that we're building sets of products that are in reaction to what's happening in the marketplace. The only way we can find those things out is if we're asking the right questions to the right people. So I think a company like Miller Heiman can help an organisation like ours. We're in a highly competitive marketplace that's really growing, and it's really driven by technology and innovation. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we're doing it in response to what's changing in our customers' worlds. So if we're asking the right questions, we're understanding the direction our customers are trying to go in, then we can build products and services to support that.